Hello, everybody. Here's Shmuel Zeiler. Thank you for joining this webinar. I'm the CEO and CTO of Raz-Lee Security, a company which is established in 1983, long time ago. And today we have gathered here to see a live ransomware attack on IBM I. So let's go and see it. Table of contents. Ransomware, the IT pandemic. Well, while there is the COVID-19 pandemic outside, we, the IT people, suffer from a different pandemic. Our pandemic is the ransomware. Yes, ransomware can hit IBM I. There are known cases. There were cases which were published in the web magazines and other magazines. And I can tell you that in most cases, when ransomware is being published, it doesn't say which type of computers have been attacked, but it says that there was an attack. If the company agrees or has to publish that it has been attacked. The question is how we can stop a ransomware. Well, it's quite complex. And when we speak on the IBM I and subject that we are responsible for the IBM I, we have to have something which is inside the IBM I and can protect us, because all the other methods rely on the existence of the software itself which attacks the IBM I, and such software usually in ransomware will exist only on a Windows machine and will run from a Windows machine. As such, we should rely on the people who are responsible for the LAN to protect us using antiviruses, etc. on the LAN, but from the IBM I, an antivirus inside will not assist us enough. We need the anti-ransomware. Let's see. What do we know about ransomware? Well, ransomware usually will never attack any file which is a system file. It will allow the PCs and the IBM I to continue working normally as much as it can. Otherwise, it will be impossible to decrypt the files, and as such, those from the ransomware will not get what they want, which is the money. And we have to remember, those people who use the ransomware, who attack us with ransomware, they want only one thing: money. It's a kind of a business. Yeah, and ransomware is increasing. Every day there are more and more ransomwares, and the way that they work is getting more sophisticated, and unfortunately it's very complex to protect against them. The cost of getting the decryption key is very high. The cost for the organization to suffer from an attack is very high. Usually it means 3 or 4 weeks of the organization cannot work properly. It means that the cost raises to be 1 million or so. In just next door here, there was an attack on a company which developed software for the IBM I and other machines, and they admitted finally to the NASDAQ that they paid $250,000 just to get the decryption key. Lucky they were, because they got a decryption key. There is no guarantee that we pay and we get a decryption key. There is no guarantee that it will work on all files, etc. So let's continue. Some well-known attacks, you can go and start from the tourism carnival operators, going to the software again, going to many municipalities, going to factories, banks, etc., whatever you want, and even hospitals, because those crooks, they don't care whether we are under the pressure of the COVID-19 or not. What they care is the money. And as such, if the weak part is those hospitals, or as IBM just recently announced that they know that the ransomware is going to attack the supply chain of the vaccinations for COVID-19. Well, I don't know how they know it, but you know, it's not nice. So we are all coming from the IBM I community, and we know that the IBM I has an operating system which enables the best security, and probably we assume that IBM I is secured. Isn't it so? Well, the answer is no. And before we continue, let me show you a 1-minute video about our anti-ransomware.
Every 11 seconds, ransomware attacks. Your IBM I isn't safe even if it isn't connected to the internet. Once the IFS is mapped to an infected PC, your IBM I is under attack. Antivirus cannot stop the attack. It can just summarize the results. iSecurity Anti-Ransomware stops ransomware attacks immediately as they start, even if it is a 0-day attack. Your IBM I is facing these threats right now. You can't afford to wait. Contact Raz-Lee Security. www.razlee.com.
This short video illustrates very nicely the risk of the anti-ransomware, the fact that the antivirus cannot stop it. The antivirus can sometimes subject that the ransomware which attacked the IBM I is one who has a well-known extension. It can identify and count how many casualties or compromised files have been found. In the case that we took the picture, we took it from the IT Jungle web magazine, you could see that almost 250,000 files have been compromised. None of us would want to be in this situation. Well, let's summarize. IBM I contains our organizational data, or at least a major part of it. Ransomware, we think, is uncommon. No, it is very common. IBM I is a safe platform. No, IBM I can be attacked by ransomware. Some of us think that antivirus on the IBM I can protect against ransomware. No, it cannot, because the ransomware itself is a PC program which runs from usually a Windows machine. And as such, it attacks all the drives it can find on the PC. And such drive can have folders which are mapped to the IBM I. And this is how it attacks. So the only solution which we end up with is the PC antivirus. The PC antivirus can identify a ransomware software and perhaps prevent it. This is the best solution, but it is not enough because of several reasons. First, those crooks who write the ransomware, they find ways to disarm the Windows Defender or other antiviruses. And this is not nice because they are left without the capability to prevent the attack. And in other cases, the crooks, especially recently, starting from the first quarter of 2020, they intrude our systems or our PCs via RDP, via phishing, via email. They find ways via brute force or stealing credentials. They find exact companies which they want to attack. They put a ransomware and activate it. So it's a dedicated attack on a specific company. And this is getting to be more and more common. So it's not enough even to have the antivirus. So at the end of the day, we need to protect ourselves. And for that, we were thinking here at Raz-Lee how we can protect ourselves from the ransomware. We are specializing in IBM I, so as we were thinking, we remembered the story about the duck. And the saying about the duck is the following: how you identify a duck? If it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. And I said, hey, the same may be true for ransomware. If it behaves like a ransomware, does what a ransomware does, then probably it is a ransomware. And we have materialized this idea to a software product called Anti-Ransomware. As per the test which we have done here, our iSecurity Anti-Ransomware can stop in most of the cases we have tested it, can stop the ransomware and pretty much in its beginning. This means that we may rescue our IBM I data. All these tests have to be done with live ransomware. On the left side, you can see some of the ransomware which we work with. These are real live ransomware, and there are many of them. And we cannot tell you that we have tested them all in all circumstances, but we have tested some of them or many of them. For example, the WannaCry Plus, I will show you, which is marked here, I will show you the test of it. And I will show you the Sodinokibi, which is one of the newer ones, which is now perhaps the most popular in the 2020, taking a share of more than 25% of all the ransomware attacks. Our lab has an isolated environment and completely different from our regular development environment. We have inside a PC with a Windows 10, which has a virtual machine, and it establishes a PC after a PC, because every attack actually causes the PC to be entirely useless. We have a specific LAN, and we have an IBM I. Okay, not this module, but this is a nice picture, so we decided to put it here. And this is the product. So it's a real product. It comes in two variations, like always with us. We have it in green mode, we have it in GUI mode. You can work with it from your desktop, or you can work with it from the web. We provide all our software in these three manners: web, GUI, and green. Most of this presentation will be in green, because we are technicians and so on, and we prefer to work like this. But I will show you some of the GUI. Now, the product works like this. At the beginning, we explain what we do. We identify the behavior of the ransomware, and we take actions against it. We can exclude some of the files. We can install not only we can set up the dashboard of the threat prevention. We can set up the reaction to the attack. We have another method of identifying malwares and ransomware, which is called honeypots. Honeypots are traps like files files which nobody uses and are identified only to us, and we put them, and if somebody touches them too often or in sequence, then probably he is not somebody who can be trusted, and we should stop his ability to access it. At the end, we have option 11. Option 11 is work with detected attacks. If we detect an attack, we put a record telling, hey, we have detected attack from this and this IP, this and this user, and this user and IP is stopped completely. Should we want, we can stop entirely all the access from the network to the IBM I, preventing any chance of continuous attack. Oh, I was mentioning Sodinokibi, and let's see how Sodinokibi can attack with the IBM I without anti-ransomware. AR is our acronym for anti-ransomware in place. So without an active anti-ransomware, this is what we see. On the left side, you can see the IBM I with the ransomware, the same screen as I just showed you. On the right side, you can note that the anti-ransomware in this case is not active. On the right side, on the top, you can see the PC folder, a regular PC folder, and the PC folder has pictures. Why do we put here pictures? Because the minute a picture is being attacked, the picture simply disappears. So this is a very good sign to know that something has occurred to this file. On the lower part, we have the IBM I folder. We can now see it also on the left side, and it contains a camel, it contains a chimp, it contains, here is the chimp, here is the camel, and some other pictures and files. And so we are ready to run the Sodinokibi, and this is the Sodinokibi. You can see that this is its folder, this is its binary exec file, and we click on it and we run it. And soon what happened is you can see on the upper part of the right part of the screen, the pictures disappeared. Let's remember where the pictures, these were the pictures, and the minute it attacked them, this is what happened. They disappeared. And if we look inside, you can see that they have now the same name as they had earlier, but with an extension, which is, by the way, with this Sodinokibi, the extension is completely random. Every time that the Sodinokibi attacks, it creates a different extension. So if we want to rely on knowing extensions of ransomware, this is not good enough, especially for the Sodinokibi. Okay, let's continue and see what happens to the IBM I, because after it attacks, you remember, anti-ransomware is not activated. So it will now continue, and we shall see what happens to the IBM I. IBM I files are corrupted. No, not yet. Okay. Oops. You could see on the right lower part a message from Windows Defender that a malware was detected. So on the PC, the ransomware has been identified by the Windows Defender, but somehow the Windows Defender could not resist it, and it continued working. I don't know exactly why. I'm not a specialist in the PC. So it continues attacking, and at some point, this is what we get. All the files of the IBM I have been compromised. Now, you can see it in the way that it is looked from a mapped folder, or you can see it on the left, how it looks via the worklink command. So this is the situation that we get to, and Well, let's see what happens now when we continue and simply activate the anti-ransomware. So running with anti-ransomware. The very first thing that we shall prove you is that anti-ransomware is the only measure and is activated, and we do this by setting it to option 81. In the beginning, you can see that it is not activated. So we go to option 51. With a GUI, it's nicer, but we work in the green in this demonstration. We take and activate it. We restart the net server, and we can prove again that it is active. Now, as it is active, the setup is the same, except that we made a mistake, and the lower part is the PC and the upper part is the IBM I, but that's negligible. Let's see the files on the left with work link, and we compare. This is the camel, this is the chimp, the next one, and we click on the binaries of the exe file of the Sodinokibi, and let's wait. Takes a while, and the PC files have been corrupted. We continue a while more. Again, the Windows Defender detects the attack, doesn't prevent it, but look what happened. In this case, we got a message on the PC which says, hey, Windows cannot access the IBM I. Why it cannot access the IBM I? This is certainly because this was prevented by the anti-ransomware. This is exactly what is our intention, to cut the connection between the PC and the IBM I. So let's continue and see and check if we have found an attack. We go to option 11, and we see an attack. And this is the information about the attack. Let's go back to the attack, and you can see the time that it was taken, the user that was detected, the status of the product that it was in real mode, and the IP of the attacker. So this IP with this user cannot access any more. In the setting, we can decide whether only he will be prevented from accessing the IBM I or everyone will be. So let's continue and see a bit more of this. Work link for the company data. From the way that the IBM I is showing it, you can see that the files were not compromised. Oops. If those of you who had sharp eyes could see that there is another file. This other file is the file which on the PC looks like this. On the PC, you get this message, and if you continue and you wish to read the file that is here on the bottom left side, you read this. And this tells you first what happened. Very nice of them. They tell you that your files are encrypted and currently unavailable, and so on, with details on how to pay and how to get the decryption key. The same file, as I showed you, exists also on the IBM I. Unfortunately, they didn't use a proper CCS ID, so the way that we look and see that file is a bit different. You all remember this attack, yeah? Let's see inside, and those of you who have sharp eyes can read the information. I'm sorry, but it doesn't look good enough, but that's it. Sodinokibi, this one is usually, look at this. We have an email which is sent on every attack, and this email tells us who was attacking, from which IP the user, and tells us how to end up the meeting and check more information, which we already did. Of course, usually you will get more information sent to by the QSys Hopper. You can get information sent by the SIEM and so on. So this is the way that we protect against ransomware. And remember, we saw one of the most frightening ransomware, a ransomware which creates random extension, a ransomware which usually is distributed, if I can use this name, by intruding into the LAN, usually via RDP, and placed there and attacked specific organization. Now, let's continue and to the next slide and show you something which is more common. And this is a name which we all have heard. It's called WannaCry. And WannaCry, this time we shall have only one video which shows both the unprotected and the protected. So you are in, let's watch it together. Again, this is some of the viruses and ransomware which we have in our laboratory and we check. And this is the WannaCry. By the way, WannaCry, there are hundreds of dialects. As you can see here, it has attacked the file, a folder. The way that WannaCry is working is different than what we may think, because it first creates a duplication of each file, an encrypted duplication, and then after a short while, it deletes the original. Now it does it in chunks and so on. Life is not easy, and we have to defend ourselves against all this. So the next stage is, of course, to put on and activate the anti-ransomware and see if the anti-ransomware can protect us against it. This is our reaction. Our reaction screen is set by sending a message, which usually is being selected to QSys Hopper. We can inform our SIEM, actually in all our products. When we speak about informing a SIEM, it means up to 3 SIEMs. We can inform each one with its own specification. In parallel, we inform them all. We send a message to the administrator. You have already seen that message. And the attack of the specific user from the IP is always stopped when a ransomware is detected. Even if we are in FYI, in the simulation mode, it will be stopped. But if we are in real mode, we can stop all the connections to the computer. Just put here a Y, and this is what we get. And if we are those who wish to take revenge from the attacker, or perhaps stop the attacker while it is still working and prevent it from further attacking other computers, we can set here the tag, and we can hibernate or shut down the attacking PC. And of course, you can always have a program of your own to be called in this situation. So let's see. We now activate the real-time detection. Restart the net server, and now there is an attack over this company data, which this was okay, and we get a message, and the message is a known ransomware was detected, and on the PC we get a different message. Hey, the PC says I cannot access furthermore the IBM I folder. You have seen this on the PC, you get this message, and if you go, you can check by option 11 the detected attacks, and you can see that we stopped managed to stop this time the attack at its beginning. This attack started with encrypting the file, and when it was encrypted, still we caught it while we have the original file. So if we just delete this one, there are no signs of attack on the IBM I. So we are in good shape in this with this kind of attack. This is a bit easier to detect the WannaCry, which is a bit older kind of attack. Well, this is the message that we get by email, and I think that we have proved our point. If you want to observe better the dashboard of prevention, then this is the dashboard of prevention. You can see the same one here in the GUI. The GUI here is for the antivirus, this is for the anti-ransomware, and in the anti-ransomware, here what we do is we see the dashboard, which was the same screen as this one. This one I already mentioned. These are the message which you get in QSysOper, the email that you get, the attack that is detected and should be deleted in order to enable further accessibility. And probably you ask yourself, okay, I will take the product, I will install it. How much time it will take me to install it and activate it? Let me tell you, a few minutes. And after that, you set it up. But then will come another question from your side. How do I really know that it is working? How can I test it? And for that, we provide alongside with the product, our attack simulator. Our attack simulator looks and behaves like a real ransomware, but it cannot cause any harm, neither to your organization, nor to anything which is outside of what we dedicated it to simulate on the IBM I. And as such, you can play with it many times with known and unknown extensions of ransomware, which means known ransomware or unknown ransomware. It's very nice toy, and you can play with it. It represents the reality of ransomware. And you can, at that time, deactivate the anti-ransomware or activate. The result is going to be a log like this. And when the anti-ransomware is not active, you may finish with several thousands files being corrupted. While if you have the protection in place, you may get to the end with 2 files compromised before the attack was detected and stopped. Isn't that fantastic? Much better. To summarize, protection from ransomware, ransomware starts from the LAN. You should secure your network completely as much as you can. And when I say this, it means that you have to ensure that you have the latest updates to all the software, especially to antivirus software on the PC environment. You should use always antivirus and on all your connected systems. It's enough that there is one PC which has not the antivirus activated or has an old signature file which was not updated or is not set to work or who knows what, and an attack can start. On the IBM I, you must have anti-ransomware being installed and activated. And when it is activated, even if it is in FYI mode, it will, and certainly if it is in real mode, it will stop the attack as soon as it is being detected, and usually at the beginning. But this doesn't say that you don't have to keep excellent backups. You must have always excellent backups, because even when an attack is stopped, even in such a situation which most of the files were not corrupted, still you need the backup for those files which have been compromised. So always keep good backups. And remember, antivirus on the IBM I can never stop a ransomware. If anyone tells you this, this is not correct. Ransomware does not start from the IBM I. They start and run from a Windows machine. Yes, there are rare ones which can work from a Linux machine or from a Mac. Okay, so the antivirus should be there, not on the IBM I. On the IBM I, sometimes, not always, only in the situation where the ransomware is old-fashioned and has a well-known extension, then the antivirus will tell you the number of casualties. Do not think that your high availability system provides you any protection in this case. Everything that which occurs on your production machine is being duplicated to your high availability machine. And this means, and this includes, all the corruption of folders in the IFS. And remember, like any fence or any door or any wall, there is never a 100% guarantee. Okay? Each layer helps you and brings you the more chances to protect yourself, but there is not a 100% guarantee. Thank you for your participation. I'm very glad to finish this time, and I will be waiting for your questions. Please use the chat box to send your questions, and I will try to answer them as soon as I get them. Okay, some have already been received. Oh, I was asked if our product is the it looks like that your anti-ransomware product can possibly detect ransomware is encrypting files. Yes, this is correct. Is your product the only one on the market? As far as I know, presently it is the only one. Yes, you will be able to get a recording of this presentation. And does the product monitor the whole IFS? Okay. The question is, does we protect the entire IFS, or does we protect only those files which are being shared? I'll tell you frankly, presently we protect everything. We don't want to find ourselves in a situation where somebody forgot to do something or wasn't fast enough to specify other folders which are being shared now. On the other hand, we have the possibility to exclude files, and you can exclude files by their extension or by names or folders. You can, it's very convenient. You can use asterisks up to 10 or more asterisks in the same sentence, and this will simply exclude this file from being protected. Okay, this I've already answered. Well, a question which is coming again and again: can ransomware attack native IBM files? Well, the answer, thanks God, is no. As far as I know, the shares of native are not writable from the PC in the way that the PC is working, and as such, they are well protected. So this fear has been resolved. Okay, is the solution uses use few ICs? Well, the question is which CPU is being used. The CPU that is being used in order to activate this product is the CPU of the IBM I. And if you want to know how much performance we consume in order to do these checks, I can tell you that we have never noticed any kind of delay, absolutely negligible or unnoticeable. So feel free to use the product. You, as far as we have tested, you will never be able to identify whether you are working with or without the anti-ransomware. Okay, I am the only one on what? Okay. Does the product monitor for the whole? Okay, this question I've already asked. What are the pricing rules? Okay, and how to get the product? We have, please feel free to call us or any one of our distributors, and we shall be all glad to provide you a quote for these products. Installation takes a few minutes. Implementation, again, some minutes, and this is working. That's all. Is it possible to get record? Okay. I'm waiting for more questions, and I will be waiting a few more seconds. So if any one of you still wishes to send a question, I'll be glad to answer it. Otherwise, I will tell you that we are always here, and we shall be glad to answer you even later. So feel free and send us your questions. The license is made. How is the license made? The license is made by the CPU serial number and model of the IBM I. This is another question which has arrived. I value your time. Oh, more questions are arriving. Okay. Yes, the product is licensed by physical machine, logical partition, and so on. Not by course, by feature. Okay, and thank you for all the others who have sent their compliments. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I value your time and your participation, and you are invited to use this product. I think that using the anti-ransomware alongside with the antivirus can be a successful combination. Our antivirus, if I may say a few words about it, works extremely fast in the newer release which we provide. With the newer release, we work 10 times faster than in the past, if I may say. We work better. We use the latest version of the ransomware engine that exists presently in the market. Our ransomware is based on a popular product which is owned by Cisco, and that product is using 9 million signatures to identify viruses. Another question is arriving. Let me read it. Okay, thank you. I've already answered it. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.